So people got hypnotized by Bunny the talking dog because the internet loves a miracle. Talking dog? No. Clickbait mania. When you peel back the layers and you actually look at the biology, the cognition and the psychology on both sides, this whole thing pretty much falls in on itself like that. You see, there were zero controlled conditions. Not a single moment where human cueing, environmental triggers, or emotional priming, that's the big one, were removed. They didn't do blind trials. They didn't control for posture, eye gaze, reinforcement history, tone changes, or movement. They just filmed the dog hitting buttons and called it language because it makes them feel good and it made the audience feel good. And right there, that's where something called the clever Hans effect takes place. And if you're not familiar with what that is, I'm going to explain it to you. A century ago, a horse looked like a math genius until people noticed that it was responding to unconscious cues from the handler. That's exactly what happens when a dog communicates on a soundboard. The human's micro movements and the emotional energy steer the animal into the illusion. The owner has no choice but to do it because we are products of context. So the owner may lean forward, breathe differently, shift weight, smiles, freezes, voice tone change, pitch change. The dog reads it all. Dogs are elite emotional scanners. That's their survival code. And Bunny's behavior, it never broke that pattern. Every clip was drenched context. Door movement equals outside. Pickup of keys equals where dad? Voice equals ouch, love you, or whatever high reinforcement emotional button she memorized. That's not symbolic representation. That's associative sequencing. If this were actual language, this would generalize. It didn't. It spiked and then crashed with human behavior. And the study? It wasn't a study. It was a crowdsourced scrapbook with everyone using different soundboards, different reinforcers, different rules. Nothing that came out of this project met the threshold for linguistic evidence. It barely met the threshold for a freaking third grade science project, honestly. But here's the real heart of why people fell for it. Your brain is wired to see patterns, even when the pattern isn't real. That's a human feature, not a bug. When we see a dog hit the buttons, mom, hurt, want, sad, we immediately form an emotional narrative in our head. Our brains latch on to the storytelling content because we are a storytelling species. The illusion hooks right into the mirror neuron system. That's the hardware that lets us empathize automatically. Another layer to this, anthropomorphic projection. Humans reflexively map human intention onto non-human behavior. It makes us feel connected. It makes us feel special. It makes the bond feel more equal. Now pair that with confirmation bias. People only posted clips that looked magical. They didn't post the hours of random button mashing and mismatched sequences, right? There was no false positives posted or the silence or the dog pressing something and then getting frustrated because there's no reward coming after it. The dog learns press button and the environment changes. That's not meaning. That's pattern memory with social reinforcement behind it because mom goes, oh, come here, every single time. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If dogs had legitimate linguistic capacity, it wouldn't show up in erratic TikTok clips. It would dominate every high drive breed on the planet. Shepherds, Malinois, Border Collies. They would be expressing coherent, reproducible patterns across many different contexts. But they don't. They never have. Because they're working off of reinforcement, not representation, not symbolism. Context-based association. Emotional contagion, human micro-cueing. reinforcement history, clever Hans effect, confirmation bias, pattern projection, narrative craving, and anthropomorphic impulse all played into this cocktail of, whoa, what a bad illusion. But great presentation and awesome lighting. Cute project, nice idea. But scientifically, this is smoke and mirrors, and this is just a platform built on a dog's natural pattern recognition ability, not language.